This is an episode of Raw Doggin', so what I do in this series is I show you a submission that I'm going to send in for grading, go through all the issues, show them, talk about them a little bit, do a grade projection, and then I'm going to take one issue and I'll do a deeper dive, show you all the flaws and how I came up with my grade projection. So let's start with the very first one. This is such a great piece. So this is Time Magazine, and this is February 3rd, 1967, and featured on the cover are Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. So these three, they were getting ready for Apollo 1, the very first Apollo mission, and famously had the fire that took place on the landing pad before they even, did any of their testing, and all three astronauts were killed. That happened on January 27th, 1967. This issue came out just a week later on February 3rd, 1967. So this is the kind of the tribute memorial issue for these three astronauts that were killed. Put yourself back, and this is before my time, but I can imagine putting myself back in this era. It was height of the Cold War. The space race was on, the race to the moon. It was our national pride and identity versus the Soviet Union. And we have this horrific accident where three of our greatest astronauts were killed on the launch pad in a fire. So I'm sure tensions were pretty raw, and this was probably a very emotional piece when it came out and landed on newsstands a week after the tragedy. It's got some problems, especially on the back. I guess that this is probably going to be a PSA 5.0 is my guess on that one. Next up, just a banger. Absolute banger of an issue here. Secretariat on the cover of Newsweek from June 11th, 1963. This one's in pretty good shape. I own one right now at 6.5. That's my grade projection on this copy. I think it also comes in at 6.5. I'm also never going to miss an opportunity to play one of the greatest sports play-by-play calls in history. This is Secretariat at the Belmont, winning the Triple Crown in 1973.
Second, and then it's a long way back to My Gallon and Twice a Prince. They're on the turn, and Secretariat is blazing along. The first 3/4 of a mile in 109 and 4/5. Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Sham is dropping back. It looks like they'll catch him today. As My Gallon and Twice a Prince are both coming up to him now. The Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 1/6 of a mile away from the rest of the horses. Secretariat is in a position that is impossible to catch. He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Twice a Prince is taken second. And My Gallon has moved back to third. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hits the finish 25 lengths in front. It's going to be Twice a Prince second. My Gallon third.
That line, he's moving like a tremendous machine. I mean, one of the greatest sports calls of all time. Love this Newsweek of Secretariat. Love that headline, Super Horse. Come on, are you kidding me? I think this is a 6.5. Next up, Time Magazine. This is September 22nd, 1967. It is the very first cover appearance for the Beatles. Kind of obviously a very artsy cover here with that illustration and them kind of, got their Picasso-looking faces on there. I will point out that this is the Atlantic edition, so this is a variant that would have been distributed in Europe, different than the US version, obviously. My grade projection on this one, 6.0. Next up, Sport Magazine. Come on, Babe Ruth on the cover there, Sport Magazine, looking good. This is October 1960. That is Larry Sherry from the Dodgers on the cover, but obviously everybody wants this one because of Babe Ruth. This is probably the best looking copy out of all five of these vintage pieces that I'll be sending in to PSA. Grade projection on this one is 8.0. Very nice of Babe Ruth there. And then we're going to wrap it up with Mickey Mantle. This is his second ever Sports Illustrated cover appearance. Came out on October 1st, 1956. You can see Lot of color, spine ticks that break color all up along that blue section there. We've got some in the red section as well. Overall, pretty decent issue. My grade projection on this is 7.5. All right, let's dig in. I'm going to take one of these issues. We'll do a much more of a deep dive and a closer look and let you know how I came to the grade projection on that one. All right, we've certainly got a lot of problems with this one, but let's take a deep dive and take a look at them. And as always, we start with the edges. Spine looks okay as far as spine ticks go, where you'll see the problem. If I can get this to focus, an incredible amount of staining. I tried like crazy to get this one cleaned up. By the way, this has been cleaned and pressed already, but you can just see there's all kinds of staining along here. There's some staining there. Water spots. I mean, it's just not great. Got a big nasty stain right there. That's a big chunk of our problems. Now we've got some right there, some permanent creases, and then here, that's just, you know, rips and tears along the edge there. So a lot of problems on the front, and they continue with the back. Look at this. This is a crease that runs the entire length of this magazine. Let's see the best way to do that. Runs the entire length up and down the magazine. Got a corner over here that's not that great. Spine isn't bad. A little bit of color rub that you can see there. But another killer on this, if I can get it to focus, those are rusted staples. All three staples are rusted. It also shows rusted on the interior. If I'm going to show you the middle of it, yeah, you can see there. Get that light down there. All those staples in the centerfold are completely rusted. Love this piece. Historic. I mean, just an absolute beautiful piece of history. Deserves to be preserved. But that is why my grade projection on this is 5.0. Just a beautiful piece. This is my strategy with my submissions at PSA. Let's talk about a couple of different things. There's the grading scale and then grading standards. So PSA has pretty much adopted the same grading scale that CGC uses, and that is, you know, 8.5, 9.0, 9.2, 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, 10.0. The only difference is PSA is not going to have a 9.9 grade. Okay, that's the grading scale. Now the grading standard, completely different, just as important, but it's what we don't know. We know the grading scale. We don't know the standard. The standard is, okay, in PSA's mind, what flaws are there that cause this to be graded a 7.5? What does a magazine have to look like to get a grade of 9.4 and someday that beautiful gold label 10.0? That's really the big question. So we're not going to get slabs back from PSA probably till the end of the year. I'm submitting these as test submissions. I'm submitting modern, I'm submitting vintage, and a wide range of quality. I need to, it's gonna take me probably, it'll be 6 or 9 months before I even have the beginning ideas of what a 9.0 means to PSA and what a 7.0 means to PSA and what a 9.8 means to PSA. So that's the purpose of all these submissions. I want to submit a wide range of issues and eras and years and different quality of issues so that I can kind of figure out that grading standard that then they'll apply to the grading scale. That's my plan. That's what I'll be doing with all these episodes of Raw Dogging for the next several months. It's going to be a ton of fun. And man, when we get those first slabs back from PSA, that is going to be a one heck of an unboxing video. Really appreciate you watching. If you're interested in my comic and magazine pressing and cleaning service, drop a comment here on YouTube. Find me on social media and hit me up with a DM. Appreciate you watching this one. We'll do it again soon. Thanks.